Did you know that there is an invisible enemy attacking your bike every single time you start the engine? I'm talking about an unseen force that is constantly, relentlessly working to wear it down from the inside out.
So what is this silent force that's trying to destroy your engine? Is it some, complicated engineering problem? Honestly, how bad can it really be? We're just talking about some metal parts moving around, right? Well, you might think that, but the truth is, it's way more fundamental and a whole lot more damaging than you'd expect.
That silent killer? It's friction. Yep, just simple friction. It's that constant, grinding contact between all the metal surfaces deep inside your engine. See, without the right kind of protection, this friction generates an incredible amount of heat, and it literally shears away microscopic pieces of metal, causing damage that you can never undo. So, okay, let's dive into how we fight back.
To really get a handle on this, we're going to give your bike a complete health checkup. First, we're going to diagnose what's really going on inside your engine. Then we'll take a look at the heart of the machine, its circulatory system. After that, we'll move on to protecting the bike's skeleton and its joints. And finally, the best part, we're going to give you a super simple 10-minute maintenance ritual that'll keep it running like a dream.
All right, Section 1. Let's start with a really simple but powerful way to think about this. If your bike is a body, then its engine oil is its blood. It is the absolute essential fluid that keeps every single part alive and working the way it's supposed to.
Now, this lifeblood is a master multitasker. I mean, it's doing 4 critical jobs all at the same time. Job 1, it reduces friction. It creates this amazing thin film that lets metal parts glide past each other instead of grinding themselves to dust. Job 2, it acts like a liquid cooling system, grabbing all that intense heat from the piston and carrying it away. Third, it cleans. It's like a janitor, washing away all the junk, carbon, tiny metal shavings, you name it. And finally, it helps the piston rings make a perfect seal, which is what gives you engine compression and all that power. So you see, oil isn't just a lubricant. It's a cleaner, a coolant, and a performance booster all in one.
Okay, so let's move into our next section. We know oil is the lifeblood, but how does it actually circulate? How does your bike's body pump this stuff to every single vital component?
This is where that body analogy just clicks into place. The oil pump, that's the heart. It's what pushes the oil, our blood, through this whole network of tiny little oil passages, which are basically the veins and arteries. And the oil filter system? Well, that's your kidneys and liver, constantly cleaning the blood of all the nasty stuff before sending it back out to do its job. It's this perfect, self-contained circulatory system, and its only goal is engine survival.
It's a perfect, self-contained system. Okay, I get the whole body analogy. That makes sense. But when I'm actually standing in the store, all I see are these confusing numbers on the bottle. What in the world does SAE 10W30 even mean? It seriously just looks like alphabet soup to me.
That is a fantastic question. Let's clear this up right now, because it's actually way simpler than it looks. Just think of viscosity as the oil's thickness. The first part, the 10W, tells you how easily the oil flows when the engine is cold. And that W literally stands for winter. The lower that number, the better it flows when it's cold. The second number, the 30, tells you its thickness when the engine is all warmed up and at its normal running temperature. So, a 10W30 oil is basically an all-star. It's thin enough to protect your engine right away on a cold start, but it stays thick enough so it doesn't break down when things get really hot. So let's actually follow a single drop of that oil on its incredible journey. It starts its life down in the sump, which is just a reservoir at the bottom of the engine. Then the oil pump, our heart, sucks it up. From there, it gets forced through the filters, the kidneys, which clean out any nasty gunk. And then, whoosh, it's pumped through all those arteries to lubricate every critical part before it just flows back down to the sump to start the whole trip all over again.
But hey, your bike is more than just its engine, right? It's got a skeleton, it's got joints, the whole chassis, and believe me, those parts need protection too. Let's see how this builds on what we've already learned. So we're moving beyond the engine now. Right, which brings up another thing that's always confused me. Why so many different products? Wouldn't it be so much easier to just use a little engine oil on everything that moves? Why do I need this really thick, sticky grease and this thin, watery oil?
The answer is all about the right tool for the right job. Think of heavy grease as a protective shield. It's thick, it's sticky, so it stays put even under enormous pressure, and it acts as a barrier to keep water and dirt out.
Light oil, on the other hand, is more like a stealthy secret agent. It's super thin, and it's designed to creep into tiny, tight spaces to keep things moving freely. You would never want a sticky shield inside a keyhole, right? And you definitely wouldn't want a thin oil trying to protect a high-stress wheel bearing.
So, where does this heavy-duty grease go? Well, it goes on all the major joints of the bike's skeleton. We're talking about the wheel bearings and axles, the big pivot for your swing arm that your rear wheel hinges on, the steering bearings that let you turn so smoothly, and even the brake cams. These are all high-load, high-stress areas that absolutely need that durable, stay-in-place protection.
And that light oil? That's for all the smaller linkages. You know, your brake and clutch levers, the pivots for your side stand and main stand, your keyholes, and especially your control cables. Just a drop of oil here and there prevents rust and makes sure everything moves with a smooth, crisp action. And of course, don't forget the drive chain. That thing needs its own special lubricant to handle the constant whipping motion and being exposed to all the elements.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of theory. We get the what and we get the why. So now let's turn all this knowledge into a simple, actionable plan that you can actually use. All right, here it is. This is your ultimate takeaway. I want you to think of this as your bike's personal health plan. It's simple. Check your engine oil level weekly. Lube your drive chain every 500 to 1,000 kilometers. Give your levers and pivots a quick drop of light oil once a month. Lube your cables every 6 months. And have your wheel bearings greased during major services or when you get a tire change. Seriously, following this simple checklist takes, a few minutes a month, but it will add years to your bike's life. So, at the end of the day, I want you to remember this. Good maintenance is not a chore. It's about learning to understand your bike's language, the language of wear and tear. And lubrication, that's how you respond. It's a conversation that pays you back every single time you ride with better reliability, stronger performance, and most importantly, with your safety. There's so much more to explore here. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can bring you more breakdowns like this. Thanks for listening.